Senator Imee Marcos is seeking an investigation into China's recent aggressive actions at Ayungin Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. Under Marcos' Senate Resolution number 1055, the senator says the ramming incident between Chinese and Philippine vessels on June 17 must be examined further to determine how the government can better protect Filipino servicemen and citizens during rotation and resupply missions to the Ayungin Shoal. The senator adds that the government should determine the changes that need to be applied in their current strategies in order to allow the country to effectively and safely assert the Philippines' sovereign rights. The ramming incident on June 17 between China Coast Guard vessels and Filipino boats during a resupply mission to BRP Sierra Madre resulted in a Philippine Navy sailor having his thumb severed, with several other naval personnel sustaining minor injuries. The armed forces of the Philippines previously reported that China Coast Guard also used water cannons and even boarded Philippine vessels. Senator Francis Tolentino earlier called on President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to convene the National Security Council to determine the country's next steps in response to China's aggressions. The merchant ship MV Chutor has sunk, complicating the search operations for a missing Filipino seafarer. Department of Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Kakdak says that the bulk cargo carrier, which sustained damage to its engine room after being attacked by Houthi rebels in the Red Sea on June 12, reportedly drifted to the eastern African coast and was last sighted near Eritrea on June 17. According to Kakdak, an oil slick was also reportedly spotted around the same projected location of the Liberian-flagged and Greek-owned and operated vessel. Earlier this week, the White House announced the missing Filipino sailor was killed in the attack. However, Kakdak says the Department of Migrant Workers could not officially confirm his death as authorities at sea were still attempting to locate him, adding that they have not found his body yet. The Department of Migrant Workers could not immediately provide a specific timeline on when the search operations would conclude given the situation. But Kakdak admits that it would now be more difficult to find the Filipino sailor. He further says that the government continues to provide assistance to the family of the missing seafarer. MV Chutor had 22 Filipino crew members when it was attacked on June 12. The other 21 were rescued 2 days later by American naval forces and were repatriated to the Philippines on June 17. The Iran-backed Houthi rebel group has launched dozens of drone and missile strikes in vital shipping zones of the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden since November, describing them as retaliation for the Israel-Hamas war. Canadian actor Donald Sutherland, whose lengthy career encompassed films including The Dirty Dozen and Hunger Games, has died. He was 88. In a post on X, Kiefer Sutherland confirms his father's death. He remembers his father as one of the most important actors in the history of film and a person who loved his craft. Donald Sutherland had a distinctive look and piercing eyes that brought a depth and mystery to the huge range of roles he essayed over half a century on the big screen. He played dashing leading men as well as anti-heroes and villains, most recently making a name among a new generation of fans as the evil President Snow in the Hunger Games franchise. His resume includes many of the most notable films Hollywood has produced, including Clute, Ordinary People, Pride and Prejudice, The Day of the Locust, and The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. He won an Emmy Award in 1995 for his supporting work in HBO's Citizen X.